we're back in the kitchen with another canning project. Today we're doing apple pie filling. So what I'm doing is letting a little mister over here peel apples, and I'm just trimming them up as they come off the peeler. This little thing is too neat. I needed clear gel. So I went over to the little Mennonite store, if you remember a few videos back, and got the clear gel, and I was walking the aisles. I said, I sure wish they had an apple peeler here. I said, it sure would make my life easier. I'll tell you what, I looked up and it was right in front of my face. I grabbed that thing up so fast. So here we are using it, and I'm just giving them a little bit of a trim and putting them in lemon water so they don't turn so brown. I don't know what it is. These apples are wanting to turn brown on me. Okay, you have to slow down because you gotta give me time to trim. So anyway, we're just trimming these up, and in a few minutes we'll have them all done, and we'll be back to show you the next step in the process. Okay, we took a little break from our peeling. I have 12 cups of peeled and cored apple slices in here. And on the stove, I have my jars heating up, because we don't want to have cold jars, because when we get ready to can this, the apple pie filling will be hot. So you don't want to put hot apple pie filling into cold jars because you risk cracking them. Here we have water boiling, because this is an important step that you don't really want to leave out. We will take these slices that we have just done, and I'm going to blanch them. And it's not a long blanch, it's just 1 minute. So we'll put them in, let the water come up to a boil, and do it for 1 minute. And then when I take them out, I'm not going to put them in cold water. I want them to stay warm. So I have a roasting pan already laid out and ready to go. It's just a pan, it's not warm or anything. I'll just dump the warm apples in there and do them in smaller batches so I can get them into that pan. And then we'll cover them, do the next batch until they're all done. I'm doubling my recipe. I need 24 cups of apple slices. So this is 12. I'm going to keep working while that's going. And this is just a boom, boom, boom process. So just hang with us. Alrighty guys, our blanching water is ready. So we're going to put in the first batch to be blanched. There we go. Now look in here. The water cooled down, but if you look carefully, you can see bubbles coming up off of the apples. That's air coming out of the apples. And that's what you want. You want to collapse all the air pockets, or most of them, so that your apples don't float in the pie filling. And it will also help with keeping your pie filling from siphoning and coming out of your jars once they're canned. Sorry, I'm in too big of a hurry and I can't think and talk. So we'll let this come back up to a boil, boil it for 1 minute, put it in our roaster. We'll do the rest of those apples, and I've got a few more I'm working on. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm waiting on this last batch of apples to come up to a boil, and I don't want to waste time. I don't want a big mess to clean up at the end. So, Camera Lady actually cleaned up the floor for me. I've washed the buckets and we've washed all the other dishes. All that's really left to wash at this point is this. So I'm going to clean it up, and hopefully by the time I'm done with that, that will be at a complete boil. It's almost there, so we gotta hurry. Just in time that I just got the peeler clean. The apples were up at a boil. We've got 48 seconds. I'm just wiping up the counter where this apple juice got everywhere. Oh my goodness, and this pan, I don't know what it's been through, so we'll give it a good wipe down too. So just a few seconds and we'll get out that last batch of apples, and what we're going to do is put together the syrup that we put the apples in for the filling. It gets all nice and thick and makes the apple pie so yummy. So bear with us for just a minute and we'll get started with it. And while we're doing that, let me show you. We had this in the floor up under the pillar to catch everything that was coming out, well, most of it anyway. So this will go out to the deer. Little man, while he was peeling, he said, I want to hold on to this, take it to the deer stand. Let me grab the apples, we'll be right back. All right, are you ready? Let's get this filling going. First thing we need is 2 3/4 cup. No. 2. Y'all, I'm in too big of a hurry. I'm not gonna do the math. 2 full cups. Don't laugh at me. I just don't have the brain to do the math at the moment. I should have done it before. 3/4. Oh, I said 4, didn't I? I only did 2 full cups. Hold on. Yes, this is how I function half the time. 3 full cups. Four full cups. Oh, my stars, you guys. This is what happens when you get in too big of a hurry. You pour hot water all over your hand that has just come off the bowl, and then you forget to do the math for your sugar. Oh well, it'll work out in the end. Here we go. Now we need 3/4 3/4, 1/2. Is that right? 1.5, I mean. This is the clear gel. So 1.5 cups of clear gel. I don't have a half cup, so I'm just doing it this way. 1 3/4, and get the cup down in there. I normally like to have it all measured out. I don't have time for all that today. Another 3/4. All right. Now, 1.5. That's 2. So I need 4 teaspoons of apple pie spice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be what? 1 tablespoon plus a teaspoon. I may need to add more. I'll have to taste as I go. Because this recipe, it actually has individual measurements for just cinnamon and nutmeg. But I'm using my apple pie spice. Hold on just a minute. Turn those jars down. This actually calls for 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, 1 tablespoon of allspice, and 1.5 teaspoons of clove. I honestly thought I had mace in this. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I have written on top. Now we want 1 1/4, so 2.5 cups of water. We'll give that a little stir before we add the apple juice. I didn't measure out my apple juice. What's the matter with me? 2.5 and 2.5, so I need 5 cups of apple juice. Not liking the way this is looking, guys. I hope these lumps cook out. If not, it says nothing about how to mix this. I've never done this, so I didn't know. It just said put it all in here and stir it up. And that's what I did. Oh well, let that go. Just 5 cups. Almost on the nose. And 1. Now, this is 1/2 cup of lemon juice. So I actually need 1 cup. But we do not put this in until right close to the end. So I'm just going to leave it here. What we will do is bring this to a boil, then add the lemon juice once it's up to a boil, and boil it for 1 more minute after that. Then we'll add in the apples. So let's get this on the stove and pray that it's not lumpy. Who wants lumpy apple pie filling? Ugh. It's come up to a boil. It's getting thick. Now I'm adding in the 1 cup of lemon juice. Stir it in, and I will bring it back up to a boil for 1 minute and add in the apples that are right behind me in this roaster pot. They are still warm, and that's exactly what you want. Here we go, 1 minute.
Start it. Come on. What? You gotta start it.
Okay guys, this is so super thick. Guess we did something right. So now I'm going to get the apples, add them in. Maybe. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Want to stir to incorporate the apples. Stir too vigorously. You don't want to break them up. Just get them incorporated. And we'll be ready to jar this up. I'm going to look down in here to see what it looks like. Get that gloriousness. Turn. So excited. There for a few minutes I was so worried it wasn't going to do right. It says surely this is going to scorch or be terrible lumpy, but it is beautiful. Give us just a minute. We're almost ready. Okay guys, let's get filling. What we will do is take our filling and fill the jar to 1-inch headspace. I'll take you through the process with 1 jar and then I'll do the rest off camera so I don't bore you to death. You do not want to overfill it because it will create a big siphoning mess when it's canning. Let me grab a spoon real quick, or a fork. I will take the flat end and run it down and just try to get out as many air bubbles as you can. There we go. And this is a sticky mess, guys. Then we want to clean the rim of the jar. Put a lid on. I'm picky about my lids. I like for the words to line up. Finger tight till it starts turning. Oh, that went on right. Guess so. All right. Here's 1 completed jar, and that's hot. So I'm going to finish the rest of the jars, put them in a canner, and we'll be back. All right, guys, here is our last jar. I got 6 full jars from those 24 cups of apples. So now, I'm gonna put on my Vader gloves and get this down in the water. And we're going to can it for 25 minutes. Whoa, dude. All right, make sure your jars are covered by at least 1 inch of water. I need to get more water in my canner. But once that's done and it comes up to boil, we'll let it go for 25 minutes. Now, this is an important part. Once it's done, you want to turn your eye off and leave the canner and leave the jars in the canner for at least 5 minutes, if not 10. What I like to do is to let my water become completely still, try not to have any bubbles coming up, and this is why. If you pull those jars up too soon while that water is still boiling and your filling is still boiling, it's going to suck out of the jars because of the pressure change and temperature change. So just let it sit for a few minutes and that will help with the siphoning. So we'll be back. All right, look, the jars, can you see? The water is all nice and still. So now what I will do is take the jars and sit them on the side table to cool, and we are all done. And done. Okay guys, isn't that awesome? Pardon me while I do something with my Vader glove. I am so sorry this video was a little wacky and wonky and crazy and I couldn't get my head straight. It's just been one of those days. It's been, last week was one of those weeks. What am I saying? This whole year's been wacky and crazy, so it's just par for the course. But anyway, we will let these cool. I already hear them popping. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've already tasted this, what was left in the pot, and it was super yummy. I hope you get to try it. See you next time.